Within this video montage, you will observe bits and pieces of 3 separate lessons conducted. These lessons were completed on 3 separate days.
Time to say hello. So today we are going to answer some what questions. I know that you are so smart. Can you answer some what questions for me? So the most important thing that we need to know about what questions are that the answer is either an object like food or like backpack or ball, or sometimes it's an action like eating. Yeah, so when you hear someone asks you a question that starts with what, the answer is either an object or an action. What's this? What's this? That's okay. Can you say marker? It's a marker. This is an object. Now I'm going to ask you to tell me an action, okay? I'm going to say, what am I doing? Are you ready? Are you ready? What am I doing? Clapping, yes! Good job. So you see, you already know how to answer what questions with objects and actions. Now we're going to answer some other questions right here. And you can point to the right answer, okay? What goes on top of a birthday cake? Candles. Good job. Okay, so today we're going to learn about where questions. So we're going to talk about some places or directions, kind of like how we did yesterday with what questions, okay? Okay? All right, so the biggest thing to know about where questions are that when someone asks you...
Overall, the Ieptoinstruction project was very successful. The data obtained within the PLAF indicated a deficit in the area of communication, so creating a lesson on answering WH questions was relevant and important for the student. The goals and objectives were derived based on the results of the baseline data collected and were reasonable, appropriate, and achievable based on the student reaching the mastery criteria across all 3 teaching lessons. Consistency and continuity between lessons for this project was a huge contributing factor to its overall success. Each lesson began with a lesson opening that incorporated some element of choice for the student to make, whether that be choosing a reinforcer or choosing his preferred type of seating. The lesson also began with a greeting, singing a hello song, which is standard for all sessions within the student's therapeutic school setting. Prior to the implementation of these lessons, the teacher was able to pair herself with the student, which motivated the student to work towards playing together, as the student viewed her as reinforcing as well as the item or activity being given directly following the lesson. Each lesson also included activating prior knowledge related to the lesson's objectives by incorporating previously learned, current, or mastered programs, such as labeling an action by providing the student with the SD of, what am I doing? While clapping, which allowed the student to review answering a type of what question. Each lesson also incorporated individual practice where the student had the opportunity to answer a what or where question in a printed format with a field of 3 possible answers with visuals. Least to most prompting was the prompting hierarchy used across all sessions, which is consistent with the student's overall ABA treatment plan. Lastly, reinforcement in the form of verbal praise and tokens were delivered consistently throughout each lesson, which resulted in the student being given access to some sort of item or activity as a reward. Some criticisms or weaknesses to this lesson is that the teacher did not provide the student with an explanation of how answering questions is an important skill in the real world. For example, it's important to be able to ask and answer questions about safety when out in the community. Additionally, specific types of questions related to a category within FFC could have been focused on. For example, if identifying a feature of an item was a skill deficit in the children's FFC program, the lessons could have been tailored to prompt the student to answer specific what or where questions about an item's feature. In addition, the lesson could have included a literacy component using a book to answer WH questions, which would have made it more naturalistic and functional. All of these criticisms will be taken into consideration when planning future lessons. However, overall the lesson was very successful, and I'm looking forward to continuing to work with the student in the future.
High five.